that one. I'm gonna let her be.
Yeah, she's fine. All right. Sorry, guys. We got a lot of stuff going on. We've had some sirens today. People trying to race down the street over here by our house. And just as a forewarning, I've got a four-legged helper out here. She's chilling out over in the shade right now, but more than likely you'll see her come through a couple of times. But we'll get started here in just another minute or so. I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown of what we're going to do. So last week we did a lot of leg workouts. Heard from a couple of you guys that you really seem to enjoy that. But today I'm going to look at a few things. So starting with hand techniques, combinations, and patterns. You know, fast motion versus connected motion versus continuous motion. Also going to we're going to look at that for just a few minutes, and then afterwards we're going to get into a little bit of kicking, consecutive kicking and stuff, and really kind of what you're looking for as you're doing those. And then after that, we're going to do some sparring techniques. You look at our line technique pages, which I hope you guys are doing constantly right now, especially in the situation we're in. But those sparring combinations that are on your page, they really are sparring combinations. They're meant to be used in sparring. So what I need you guys to do right now, like I said, planes going overhead. We got a lot of noise around us. Just in the comment sections, just let me know what ranks are there. Like I said, we're going to get started here in just another minute or two. We had a little bit of a start and everything. I forgot to send you guys the email today or yesterday, and I apologize about that. But just so you guys know, even if we don't announce it, we are going to be running classes online. So at least for the foreseeable future at the moment. So in the comment bar, again, let me know what ranks are here. Just tell me, blue belt, high blue belt, gold belt, white belt, whatever your ranks are. And we'll get started in about 1 or 2 minutes here, okay?
Are you telling them let us know? Click here and what their ranks are.
This is new. Just as an FYI.
Yeah, I don't like the show. I don't like the consistency. We'll sit on that. I'm gonna jump in your video really quick.
Cool. That's not coming up over here.
Okay.
No, I mean
the comment. There is a comment over there.
It's come through on this one, but
who's here?
All right. We'll go ahead and get started, guys. Just so you know, Mrs. Hanson is over here. We're trying to get my tablet to work so that we can be reading your guys' comments. Questions. If you're confused by something, awesome. Say so. Ask questions. It's what the comments. And definitely, go to our website. You can email questions. You can email videos. We want to see you guys. You guys get to see us, but right now we're not really getting to see you guys. So we want to see you guys make videos. Okay. Show us your patterns, especially with a single technique. Let us know. All right, everybody. Yep. Kukiate. We got a little tiny US. Unfortunately, it's off camera right now. I think. Kukiate. Kunin. Forget. Anjo. Mukya. Yep. Sabonimke. Kunye. Kwan. Okay. Just for today, I know we're getting a little bit behind now. For warm up, stand up nice and straight, bend over, touch your toes. Which is not working for me today. Hope it's working for you guys a little bit better. Good. Stand up. Crush feet. Bend over, touch your toes. And stand up. Cross them the other way. Touch your toes. Stand up. Good. Feet apart. Nice and big. Never start small. Legs straight. Hands flat on the ground. Right between your feet. Don't reach out in front of you. Not just yet. Bend your elbows. Try to get the top of your head to touch the ground. Good. Walk your hands out until you're on your toes. Drop your right hip to the ground. And now you're trying to push the front of your hip into the floor. Sense, can you just turn it down just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing? Good. Raise up. Twist to the right. And drop your left hip to the ground. Good. Raise up. Drop both hips to the ground. And bring all the way back up to the middle. Stand up. Okay, so from right here, you're going to lift your heels up. Pick a direction. I don't really care which one. You're turning your feet so that you're in like this really ridiculously long, low walking stance. Bring your back knee straight down to the ground. And straighten out your front knee. Okay, I want you pointing your belly button towards your knee. And put both hands on the floor next to your leg. Good. Back up in the center. Turn the other way. Same thing. Bring your knee to the ground. Straighten out your front knee. Both hands on the ground next to it. Good. Back up in the center. And stretch out nice and big. And sit back. Sit up nice and straight. So no hunching your back. Sit up straight. Keep those legs apart. And while you're here, bring one arm across your chest at the same time. And the other arm. Again, making sure that you're sitting up nice and straight this whole time. Are they asking about the phone?
Mm-hmm.
And relax. Good. Sit up straight. Elbows down to the floor. Are they saying they can't hear me?
I just asked. So the noise that you hear in the background, just so you know, is our pond. We can't shut that off, but Mr. Hansen can talk louder if you need him to.
Yep. All right. Sit up and go ahead and stand up. Okay. And Miss Hansen, push the camera back. And all right. So yes, if you guys see that little pot right there, just inside of it, yeah, we've got a fountain bloom thing that goes on in our pond. Do apologize if that's getting in the way, but I'll do my best to make myself heard. So, one hand behind your back, grab your elbow, pull it behind your head, chin up, all that good stuff. Most of you guys should know how to do most of these stretches. I hope you're doing them all the time. And relax. And relax. All right.
He does say sound and video is better this week.
Oh, good. Okay. So, as I said, we're going to start off with some of the, sorry, hearing from you guys across my watch here. It's a new watch. I'm still getting used to how to, shut it off, all that kind of good stuff. So, patterns, hand techniques. Okay. So, first things first, just because hand techniques fit together really well in a pattern doesn't mean you do them fast. It doesn't even necessarily mean that you do them with a snap all the time. Most of the time, but not all the time. Okay, so the easiest place to start is with the gold belt pattern Dangun, because that's where combination hand techniques start. So doing like the low block, rising block combination of techniques in Dangun. Okay, both of them are the same cross. So if you remember our first video talking about hand crosses, this is the outer forearm, the back of wrist to back of wrist. They both start in the same position, and they're both with the same arm, so you should do this cross twice. Okay, so the motion is actually called jets. Personally, I think one of the most awesome things of living next to an Air Force base, but they are allowed. So, the hand techniques, the low block, rising block in Dangun are not fast motion. It's actually called continuous motion. So what you're trying to do is a combination of three things. Okay? Sine wave, knee spring, down, up, down, up, down. Okay? Low block, rising block. Every time your body goes down into your stance or your knee bends and straightens, you do your technique. Low block, rising block. Okay? Now, as you're doing this, okay, you're looking for that cross in the middle. Okay? So if you're in Dangun, you have your walking stance, high punch, right? Because all punches in Dangun are high punch. All right? You're stepping into it. Down, up, down. Okay? That's low block, rising block, but continuous motion in it. That motion is more describing the combination of your breath and body all at once. Okay? There should be one breath, two techniques, and two sine waves. Okay? So I'm going to make some noise with my mouth. The idea is to breathe, not make noise. The noise doesn't matter. Okay? So it should look something like this. Okay? With an accent on that second one. Okay? You're stopping with each one. Okay? And that would be a continuous motion. So stepping forwards, down. There's your first cross. Up. And low block, rising block. Okay? That's your continuous motion. What I want you to do right now is I actually want you to do that 10 times on each side. You're going to get a little winded. That's good. Okay? So you're going to take your walking stance, bend your knee, cross, and breathe out and do both techniques. Bend your knee. Okay? And do that 10 times on each side. Okay? So, again, this is continuous motion. This is probably, at least what I think, the easiest one to do. Of course, that figures. We're talking about the gold belt rings here, okay? White belt. No, this is not for you, technically, okay? But you know low blocks, you know rising blocks, you're just putting them together in one stance. Now, as you're doing this, okay, you're concentrating on your breathing. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. The sound you're looking for is an H sound. Okay? All right. So there's your continuous motion. The first time you use fast motion is actually in, that would be a Zelda. The first time you use fast motion is actually in Dosan. And we do this combination in Dosan. This is the high gold belt pattern, where you do a wedging block, a front kick, and 2 punches. Okay? Everybody wants to do front kick 1-2 punch fast. Well, front kick 1-2 punch is not fast motion. Okay? It's actually just the 2 punches. But they combine in a really weird way. So, white belts. I want you to do front kick 1-2 punch, but I want you to concentrate on a couple of things. I want front kick and stop. When your foot goes down, punch, down, up, punch. Okay? So you're doing those from a walking stance. Okay? So you can start in a fighting stance. If you're a gold belt, same as the white belts, front kick 1-2 punch. High gold belts, wedging block. So you're starting in a walking stance. Wedging block cross, both hands face you, right? Inside hand is the back side. Wedging block, front kick, set up, 1, 2. Okay? And we'll get into the rest of fast motion here in a second. Everybody who is above high gold belt, this should be more of a review, but you might as well practice because there's a lot of fast motion techniques and they all happen the same way. Okay, so real quick, 3 or 4 on each side. Okay, front kick 1-2 punch or wedging block front kick 1-2 punch. Okay, you're just looking for the really, really, really simple sine wave right now. 1 sine wave for every technique. Okay, so if you're starting in Jumbi to do the wedging block, starting in a fighting stance, you're just kicking. Okay, so wedging block. Down, up, down, right? Front kick. Down, up, down with a punch. Down, up, down with a punch. Okay? And of course, both sides. Wedging block. Front kick. Down, up, down, down, up, down. Okay? So, 3 or 4 on each side, like I said. Now, the fast motion part. Again, when we take fast, continuous, connected, regular motion, we're talking about your sine wave and your breath and how they combine. Okay? So, part of this. Front kick is just the beginning of this section of techniques. Okay? So, you can start in your wedging block. You can start in a fighting stance. It doesn't matter this time. Okay? What you're looking for is the 2 punches being fast motion. So you're here. Everything okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you're here. You have your front kick. That's done normal. 1 breath, 1 movement.
Help.
You need help?
No, did you need help?
Sure. If you're done with stuff. Uh-oh. Sorry, guys. Household distractions, son, dog, her barking, and you're, yeah, it's all right. I'll let you guys know, this breed is an awesome breed, great purities. highly hyperactive then. All right, Mr. Hansen, base class, try it, good. Okay, so what we're talking about is the motions and patterns right now. Fast, continuous, connected, all that stuff. Okay, so we're here. All right, you have your fighting stance. Remember that a front kick is just a front kick, even in patterns. Knee up, all four parts, everything, okay, with a breath. As you do your front kick and you're stepping down, your first punch should happen at the same time as your foot touching the ground. That's where the fast motion begins. Okay, so you're here. Set up. Once you've done this piece, that downward step into your walking stance is the downward motion in the sine wave for your punch. Okay, so the fast motion is two punches, one breath, or excuse me, two punches, two techniques, two sine waves, two breaths, done in the same beat. So if you guys like to do music, okay, listen to Staying Alive, or listening to Another One Bites the Dust. Great songs, really fast, but you have to be able to do those two punches, two sine waves, two breaths in one drum beat. Okay, so again, you're here. It should look like this. Okay, so as soon as my foot steps down, down, up, okay? That's what you're looking for, is down, up, down. Instead of down, one technique, down, another technique, down, up, down with a punch, up, down with a punch. Two breaths, one on each punch. Okay, so you're gonna do 10 of those, like 5 on each side. Just kind of give yourself a little bit of a rhythm. Okay, so you're here. Help out. Do something. Okay, so you're here. See, what he did was more continuous if you listen to his breath. Yeah. But remember, it's not a hiss. It's a breath. It's an H sound. Try it again. Two breaths. Two accented, sharp breaths on those punches. That was a little better, but a little bit long on the breaths. Okay. No, this isn't easy. Okay. So you do 5 on those on each side. Again, this is fast motion. The low block, rising block was continuous motion. Now we have another C motion. Okay. This is connected motion. These ones get a little bit weird sometimes. Okay. The first time you see a connected motion is actually in Yoguk. Okay. And that's when you're doing high hooking block, reverse high hooking block, punch. The first one is just a technique, just like normal. Actually, he did that one kind of all right. Okay. This, I think, personally, is one of the easiest. Okay. So, white belts, because this is quite a bit above what you're doing. Here's what I want you to do. You're going to take a walking stance. Left side, right side, doesn't matter. You are going to do a rising block. And then you're going to do a rising block with the other hand and a punch with the front hand. So, lead hand rising block, backhand rising block, front hand punch. But you're going to put the motions together the exact same way as what I tell everybody else to do, okay? Gold belts. You're going to do the same thing as the white belts, because those are the closest techniques that you've got to what everybody else is going to be doing. High gold belts. There is no connected motion in Dosan, but you're going to be doing very similar techniques to Dosan. Instead of rising block, high block, reverse high block, obverse punch. Okay? But again, the motions, the crosses are all the same. Green belts, low green belts, if there are any of you guys. Okay? You're going to do what the high gold belts are doing, because that's the closest thing that you've got. Okay? High green belts and above, high hooking block of the palm, reverse high hooking block of the palm, obverse punch. Okay, so take your walking stance. Do your rising block, high block, or your high hooking block, whatever it needs to be right now. Okay, So back of wrist to back of wrist, all of these blocks are the same. High hooking block, down, up, down with your block. This, by the way, is not a snapping technique. It's not a crossing technique. Up, over, down. Then bend your knee, lift up, straighten out your knee. Your ankle will straighten a little bit, but your heel is off the ground. Cross, reverse high hooking block with the palm. Put your heel down, punch. Okay? So again, down, up, over, down with your first block, down, up with your block, down with your punch. Okay? And do that again 3 or 4 or 5 times on each side. Mr. Hanson's going to do the same thing now with me. Okay? So switch stance. Okay? So now he's in a left walking stance. I'm in a right walking stance. Okay? From right here. Down, up with a cross, down with your block, down, up with your block, down with your punch. It's not a forwards backwards, by the way. It's down, up. Okay? So down, up, down with your first block, down, up, down with a punch. Okay? Down, up, down, down, up, down. Okay? So I'll give you guys a minute to do that. All right? But again, what you're
show gold belt.
Oh, fair enough. Mr. Hanson, I want you to do the gold belt stuff. Okay, so the gold belts are doing high block, reverse high block, obverse punch. So go ahead and show them that real quick. So down, up, down, up, down. Slow down. Do it again, please. And just hold your stance. So he goes down, do that again. Down, up, down with the block, down, up with the block, down with the punch. Now, out of these 3 techniques, there's only 2 that are connected. It seems like they all are, but they're not. Okay, let's try a little further this way for me. All right, so now we get into your connected motion, and this will be the last one that we do for today because everything else is regular motion. Okay, the connected motion is 1 breath, 1 sine wave with 2 techniques. Down, up with your reverse block, down with a punch. Breathe out the entire time, sharp on the punch. Okay? In. And there's your connected motion. Like I said, I think this one's the easiest one. You are exhaling as you do your block. Exhale sharp on the punch, but 1 breath the entire time. Questions?
Nope.
Comments?
I'm saying just same videos better this week. Videos quality.
Excellent. Okay. So there is your continuous, which is the low block, rising block motion we talked about. Fast, the 1-2 punch that we talked about, not the front kick 1-2 punch, the 1-2 punch, right? And I'm going to head back. I'm going to get back. Yep. Face down. Bow. All right. He's got some work to do, guys, so he's going back to it. So, and then the last one is your connected motion. They're connected because they're part of the same sine wave. So, hopefully that'll help you guys out. We're going to move on just a little bit, right? I told you guys this next part is a little bit about kicking in patterns, okay? Mrs. Hanson, please. Actually, I'm going to have you come over. For those of you guys who are curious, her knee's actually getting a lot better. She's been doing her physical therapy and all that stuff, so she's actually getting a lot better. She can actually kick a little bit now. So,
a little bit.
All right, Mrs. Hanson, take an L stance, please. Okay, so she's going to be kicking with her left leg. Grab me just for balance for the moment. All right. Just a really slow one. Okay, so in your patterns, you're looking for a couple of things on a front kick. Okay, she's going to raise her knee up, and her hands are going to come in. Okay, Her knee is going to come up just above her belt. As she extends her leg out, she's going to bring her shoulders forwards. And see what her hip did there? Her shoulder came forward and her hip kind of moved in just a little bit as well. She's compressing her body. And then she's going to pull it all back together in reverse. Okay? Yeah, that's why we're doing this slow. Okay, so one more. Compress and kick. And pull it all back together and relax. Okay, all right. So I want you guys to do 10 of these. Okay, this is what a front kick should look like in patterns. Okay, compress and kick. Okay, kind of like a whoopee cushion where you push and the tongue goes out and it goes boom. Okay, same idea. All right. So use balance. Get used to this. Okay, you're just doing 10 on each side. Okay, shoulders forwards, hips forwards, crunch your stomach, okay, as you kick. Don't go fast just yet. You don't need to. This is just learning the motion. You can put it in patterns a little bit later. Okay, so your knee comes up above your belt, compress and kick, and pull it out. By the way, in patterns, most front kicks are not middle section in patterns. They're actually low front kicks for this reason, okay, because you want to be able to compress and kick. So your front kick shouldn't be going up, down. It shouldn't, of course, be going side to side, but it should be going in, out, like a spear or like stabbing with a knife, okay? Okay, dropping and bending your knee, compressing and kicking, and pulling it all back in, okay? So should tire out your knees just a little bit if you're doing it properly, all right? So there's your front kicks. Side kicks in a pattern. Sure.
Yeah, these are the ones.
Okay, relax for just a second. I probably drive you guys crazy with how often I say the same stupid things. Every kick starts the same. Okay, a side kick does not start by moving your knee backwards. It starts just by lifting it up. Okay, so if Mrs. Hanson were kicking towards you, okay, she would turn. She's got that bad knee movement, by the way. Okay, start over again for me. Okay, you're going to lift your knee up. Okay, her knee is not going to swing over. Her knee is not going to drop down. She's going to raise her foot up, but her knee's going to stay there. That would be a good side kick movement. Okay, now, all right, go ahead and set it down. We'll start over for a moment. Okay, so here it comes. She's kicking towards you. Remember that back foot, the one you're standing on, goes backwards. In our case, towards our pond, towards the tree over there. Okay, so she raises her knee up. Her knee is going to stay here as she turns her foot, but her foot's going to raise up. Okay, and that's where she's going to start kicking from. She's going to push straight out on her heel and pull it straight back in. And as she pulls in, it's all going to corkscrew back to the beginning. Okay, so she's going to turn her other foot towards the camera, back to the beginning, and everything kind of corkscrews out and corkscrews in. Okay, now comes the really fun part about doing a side kick in a pattern. Believe it or not, you don't turn your hips first. You turn them way at the end. Okay, this, if you get somebody who is really, really super good, I've got a few names in my head. So if you guys email or ask later, I'll tell you who those people are. And I can even show you directly to some YouTube videos, I think, that have them in it doing this kick, okay? You're almost doing a thrusting front kick with a corkscrew twist at the end. Okay, can you do that? Okay, so to be able to show them slowly, I got to have balance here. Okay, so you're in whatever stance it is that you're in a pattern. I need to get to a slightly different patch of underground here. Okay, so I'm here. I've got my knee up. I'm pushing my foot out, and as I push my foot out, it turns all the way at the end and comes all the way back in the same way. Okay, sorry guys, this ground is really awful over here with these tiles, so I keep hitting one that's raised up here and one that drops down there, so I keep hopping all over when I'm doing kicks here. But again, Your knee comes up, your foot starts to move out like a thrusting front kick, and then your hip pops over at the end. Everything comes back in when you're pulling it in. Now, questions for you to answer. When do you move backwards in a kick? Okay. If you guys have an answer, throw it in the comments. When do you move backwards in a kick? Okay, that means my target is there. When do I move there to hit my target there? Do we have any answers? I want your answers, guys. I want to hear it because I want to hear somebody say, never. If my target is here, I have to move there. Okay, I can't shoot her with a bullet by aiming that way with a gun, right? I mean, if we were in space and you had this weirdo moon type body like we have up there, okay, maybe it would go around the planet and hit her on this shoulder aiming that way. Or not. She's here, I have to move there to kick. So even in your patterns, you should be moving forwards, maintaining your balance. Okay, so Miss Hanson, stand on the other edge of the mat facing me. Okay, so I'm here. All right. If I'm in a pattern and I just did middle guarding blocks the knife hand, between form, whatever, okay, my knee is going to come up between us, my foot's going to start moving, and I'm going to corkscrew right at the end and pull it all the way back in, preferably again with better balance than I have, here and here, and then set down into my stance. Okay, that's where your kick control comes in. Okay, so that's front kicks and side kicks, right? Turning kicks. Turning kicks and patterns, how do they work? Well, they work the same. Okay, your foot comes up first, your knee comes up in front of you first. Lifts up, not your knee drops down. You're not in a big giant circle. Okay, knee comes up, foot twist, kick at the same time. Here, okay, twist and kick.
Miss Matthews answered.
What'd she say?
You never do.
See, Miss Matthews, good. Somebody answered and said, never. That's the right answer for that backwards motion. Okay, so in patterns, you have to remember position relation. Okay, what I mean by that is pretty simple. Okay, I hope you guys can see this there. Okay, and actually, I know how to show you guys this pretty well. All right, Miss Sanson, stand directly in front of me, between me and the camera, please. Okay, so like I could see and peek over her shoulder. Hi guys. Okay, so Mrs. Hanson is between me and you guys. Right now, she is at my front. Okay, that makes perfect sense, right? So if Mrs. Hanson scoots this direction, now she is at my front right side, and of course over here would be my front left side. Okay, then of course, if I turn 90 degrees and put her between me and you again, she's at my side. So we have front, front side, and side. That's actually really how we describe stuff in Taekwondo as far as like writing stuff down. Okay, and then of course there would be to my rear side, and my rear side. Okay, and then this would be my Miss Hanson here is my rear side then. Okay, so and it doesn't matter if she's facing me or not. It's where she's standing in relation to me and the direction I'm facing. Okay, so in patterns, how a turning kick works is a little bit strange sometimes. Okay, so red belts are really the first ones to do turning kicks in patterns. Okay, and with good reason. Okay, if you get into the point of patterns where you do turning kick, back kick, okay, believe it or not, you're not hitting one person. You're actually hitting two people. Okay, so if Miss Sanson, stand right here and face the fire pit. Thank you. Yes, guys, we actually have a fire pit in our backyard.
We never
Okay, we use it maybe once or twice a year, but it's really cool. All right, so patterns. Okay, you turn and you do middle guarding block with the knife hands. Mrs. Hanson is where my turning kick is going, but my back kick is going to another guy standing on that side of her, facing me. Okay, so I'm here, I pick my knee up, turning kick. So now if you notice, I'm not kicking where my stance is pointing, I'm actually kicking over here because my foot's hitting her like this. Okay, turning kick, and I set it down. Okay, and I don't step forwards, I'm sitting it right underneath me to do back kick straight where my stance is going. Okay, so two opponents, right? But your turning kick, your back kick start the same as a front kick. Knee up in front of you, twist your hips over, keep your knee high, kick out as you twist, right?
What about targeting the side kick?
Okay, fair enough. So, you mean like height-wise and, okay.
And even in while
All right. Height in kicks in patterns. If you are doing a front kick, we said it's low section, that's belly button and down, right? Right? Okay. And it's because of that compression factor. We're not concentrating on doing these high fancy kicks. Real Taekwondo does not concentrate on big, high fancy kicks. We can do them because being able to do them lets us do them at proper levels. Different concept, okay? Not just there to look cool. Your side kicks at the color boat rank and early black boat ranks are always middle section. Your turning kicks, always middle section. Now I've got the question for you guys that I want to hear you guys answer. So Miss Sanson, if you can go back real quick, and I want this really fast. Back kicks are designed for what section of the body? Middle, low, or high? Well, middle, low, high. I'm going to give you guys like 1 minute here. Just enough time to hear from you. So if you're a red belt, you should know this answer. If you're a blue belt, a green belt.
we had our white belt answer low.
Okay, we have a white belt who said low.
And we had our green belt, one of our green belts say middle.
A green belt said middle. Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. White belt. Who? Do we know who the white belt is?
Stifle.
The Stifles and Mr. Stifle and Mr. Murphy. Good job. You are absolutely correct. Back kicks are actually considered a low kick. Green belt. Who was the green belt?
Miss Matthews.
Miss Matthews. I tell you, unless told otherwise, middle section. So you're correct. In patterns, back kicks are actually a low kick. They're a low kick. Miss Sanson.
Mr. Malik said middle as well.
Okay. If you're doing them across the floor in line techniques, or if you're doing them on a pad, middle section. If you're in a pattern, back kicks are actually a low kick. Miss Sanson. Okay. The first time you do back kicks in patterns, okay? So she's going to do this, okay? I want you to watch how she has to hit a target. That's middle section, okay? So take your L stance again for just a second, Miss Sanson. Okay? So here's the target. I'm not letting her kick me, guys. Okay? Remember, we always aim for the top of whatever section we're kicking at. So this would be the top of low section. This is the top of middle section. Watch how she has to lean to kick up here. Okay? That's actually why you don't do back kicks middle section, okay? But if we lower it to the bottom of middle section or the top of low section, she can do a back kick. She can even hold her balance there. Okay? So in patterns, your back kick is a low section kick, but you're aiming for the top of it, which is your belly button. Okay? So side kicks and patterns are always middle section. Okay? Except when you hit third degree. When you hit third degree, they start getting up there. Okay, they start becoming high section side kicks, and you start doing high section turning kicks. And you start, okay, I prefer them, but that's me, guys. Okay, so Miss Nancy, can you do a side kick?
Sure.
All right. So here's the trick when you do side kicks. Another question, but I'm going to answer it pretty quick as soon as I start putting this on the right direction instead of upside down. Do you do high section side kicks in patterns? Yes, starting at third dan. Do you do high section side kicks in sparring? Why not? Step sparring, why not? Well, here's how you do them correctly, okay? Not only do you do that thrusting motion we talked about, but do you lean to do a middle side kick?
Yeah.
Slightly. We're talking like 10 or 15 degrees here. Okay, we're talking if this is 90 degrees where Mrs. Hanson is, her head is going to move half the distance behind her to do a middle section side kick.
Sorry, the ground is.
This ground is awful in our backyard, guys. We apologize for the lack of balance. Okay, all right. So really, she should have a V shape going right now. Okay, right here at her hip. Okay, Miss Hanson does not like high kicks, by the way.
I am
like
not
high
flexible
kicks.
this way.
Okay, so you should lean slightly. As you kick higher, your head will actually lean to almost 45 degrees so that your kick raises up and your head drops down slightly. That's how you do a high side kick. So, front kicks, side kicks, turning kicks, and back kicks. Turning kicks in patterns. Middle section or high section, should you be leaning? Slightly. Again, it's about the same as a side kick. Okay? So, hand technique, movements, fast, continuous, and connected. Kicking in patterns. And, oh good, we still have just a few minutes, guys. So, we're going to spend these last few minutes. And here's what I'm going to encourage. It's going to be a little bit weird. You're at home. We got a lot of stuff, things that aren't. You don't need pads to do sparring type techniques. They help. You don't even need a target, but they do help. Your target, you guys see this big tree behind me. Our street racers, guys, sorry. Okay. You see this tree that's behind me, okay? The tree becomes my target, but I'm not going to walk over there to hit it, okay? This is like shadow boxing, okay? So you're going to take your fighting stance. And for those of you guys who are like me, I think a lot of people are, you really enjoy music. Turn some music on that have a good, steady rhythm, okay? I go back and forth between all different forms of music, guys. But if you want a really good, steady rhythm, you go to Staying Alive, or you go to another one, Bites the Dust, songs that have that good, steady rhythm that is the same. Okay, it just teaches you how to move. But you're in your fighting stance. L stance, fighting stance. Notice that my foot turned forwards a little bit. Both knees are bent. My front foot came in. This is a fighting stance, okay? So that you can move nice and easy, forwards, backwards, right, left, okay? You want to be able to move in all directions, okay? We're going to start off really simple. We'll build up in the next couple of minutes, okay? So you're there. I want you to stay moving. You don't have to bounce off the ground, okay? You just need to be moving, okay? So you have a lead hand jab. Punch, punch, punch. As you're punching, step into it, pop back. Step in and punch, pop back. Step in and back. In and back, okay? Do that on both sides, 20 or 30 seconds, okay? Punch and back, punch and back, punch and back, punch, okay? To add on to it, it's pretty simple. All of our sparring techniques that you see on your line techniques are meant to be done this way. Okay, so you have a 1-2 punch. 1-2. Step in, punch, punch. As your legs move, just like patterns, brace yourself right as you hit something. Okay, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Okay. moving in with it. You can do it moving backwards. So as your foot goes backwards, punch, punch. Okay, 2, 1, 2. Okay, you add front kick to the front of it. Now we're getting back into what we did at the beginning with some of those fast motions. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. As soon as your foot touches, punch, punch. Back foot should come in as your hand is extending and stop right as you hit something. Really is sparring. Okay, you want to brace right as you hit things. Okay, so front kick, punch, punch. Okay, front kick, punch, punch. Do that for 30 seconds at a time. Okay, you move on to 1-2 punch turning kick. Well, again, we're not talking about anything difficult, but there's a rhythm to it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Lead, reverse, turning. 1, 2, 3. Lead, reverse, turning. Lead, reverse, turning. Lead, reverse, turning. Your turning kick should come around like a punch. Okay, so you're in fighting stance. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and you know, setting your foot off to the side in this doesn't really matter. But remember, you're going to be adding on to it, so you need to be able to kick. So no matter where your foot lands, you need to be able to throw another kick, preferably without even landing eventually. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you get yourself up. Okay, you've got yourself moving again. Okay, just a little bit. It doesn't take much. Okay, 1, 2, 3, as fast as you can. Okay, now as you're building these up, okay, as you're going through your line techniques, figure out what's the rhythm. Okay, if you're doing something that moves the same direction as the previous strike, they should be done like a fast motion technique and patterns in the same beat. Okay, the idea is to not have to stop and go in sparring. Okay, so you have like I'm picking some of the easiest ones to build a rhythm off of this. Okay, you have 1-2 punch back kick or 1-2 punch reverse.
Or well, 1-2 punch turning.
What?
1-2.
Well, I just did 1-2 punch turning. Okay, so 1-2 punch back. Well, what's the rhythm there? It should actually go 1, 2, 3. Okay, notice there's a small break in there. Okay, so the way you do it is 1 with the step, 2 with the step, and as you're pulling that hand back, your feet are twisting into your kick. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3. Okay, and even with that reverse hook kick, it becomes and hook. Okay, sorry guys, going downhill again. I'm gonna follow my head in one of these videos one of these days. Just watch. So 1, 2, back with the twist and the hook. Okay.
Something, if you're working with 2 people, you can do these drills. Sorry. You can do these drills with a partner. Okay. So I can go 1, 2, spin, kick. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing. Hold his.
Okay. So if you notice, we're also going across the body. Okay. Reverse your hands in your stance. Okay. So it becomes crossover, crossover, pull back, kick. Okay. So she's right. Okay. If there's 2 of you, this works better. Give each other a target. You don't even need to complicate it this way. Here's your target. All 3 techniques right here. 1, 2, 3. Make sense? Okay. So, and if you do this, 30, 40 seconds at a time.
To mimic spark.
Right. Or if you have a heavy bag, I do not encourage punching a heavy bag as hard as you can. It tears skin. Okay. Get some kind of work gloves. Work great for it. Your sparring pads, not so much. They tear because they're only vinyl and foam. But They do work. Okay, go online from Century Martial Arts and Everlast and all those guys. Okay, they actually have heavy bag gloves that are just real thin. They slip in and they let you make a real fist still, and you can use those just to protect your hand. But you can do a heavy bag exercise. Here's my challenge for you of sorts. Find a target that you can punch at. You don't have to be able to hit it. The tree works fine. Okay. 1 minute, back and forth, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Okay. Move your feet. Okay. Get into that fighting stance, not a big, real wide stance. Okay. Be able to move. Step in and punch. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And do this for a minute at a time. Switch sides. Okay. You want a real good workout? One of my personal favorites. Okay. 1 minute rounds of just punching the bag. 1 minute rounds of just kicking the bag and not with the same leg, not the same kick. Okay. It's hard. It's much harder than the punching, but it works. Okay. So we got 3 minutes, guys. As we said before, I do apologize about not sending out the email on Fridays like I have been. We kind of got caught up in our own stuff and some of our own, home tasks and stuff. But we are going to have class next week. Me and Mrs. Hanson have even started talking about maybe doing a Tuesday or a Thursday night. Maybe. That's no guarantees there. Okay. Tuesdays or Thursdays. So let us know what you guys think would work best for you and good times to do that. And we'll see what we can do. Like I said, videos, guys. We want to see you guys too. We want to see what you guys are doing, not just us,
Talking to you
like this. Okay. So please, 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 videos. Okay. Email them to us. You could do it through the Mom Sinyang page. You can, you guys are the social media people, not me. So posting on your, websites or whatever you want to call them. I don't know. Okay. So, I think that's pretty much it for today, guys.
Also, keep looking for, we're still working on, we have multiple moms and young clubs working on getting all the line techniques posted as well. So keep looking for those. They're coming from like the whole state. So they're coming in slow, but we'll make sure we have them up hopefully by the end of next week. That includes us too.
Yep. Again, if you have questions, guys, ask them. That's what we're here for. That's why we're doing this. All right. Not just because we love it, because we know you guys do too. So, everybody, chariot, kukiatehe, face whatever flag you have. Kunin. Chariot, anjo, mokyam. Yep. Raise your hand. Student oath. I shall observe the tenets of Taekwondo. I shall respect my instructors and seniors. I shall never misuse Taekwondo. I will be a champion for freedom and justice. I will help build a more peaceful world. Tenets: courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control, indomitable spirit. Yep. Solomon K. Kunin. Come on. You might as well do it.
Isa.
Come
We'll see you guys
Good job,
next
guys.
week.